Imagine an animal so strange, so baffling, that it doesn't frighten children or explorers. It haunts scientists, not because it's big or dangerous, but because it breaks the rules of nature itself. Every time biologists think they understand it, the creature does something impossible. It heals from wounds instantly. It thrives in conditions no life should survive. And most disturbing? Its very existence seems to mock the laws of biology. For decades it remained a rumor, a strange legend passed between researchers. But then, they captured it, studied it, and instead of answers, they uncovered something that shook them to the core. This is the story of an animal that doesn't just live in the wild. It lives in the darkest corners of scientific curiosity. Welcome to the mystery of the animal that haunts only scientists. The first confirmed sighting came from a remote research station deep in the Choose One, Amazon rainforest, Mariana Trench, Siberian tundra. A motion-triggered camera captured a blurry shape, small, slow-moving, unlike anything in the database. At first, scientists thought it was a glitch, but then it moved again, deliberately, intelligently. When they analyzed the footage, it didn't match any known species, not reptile, not mammal, not insect. Its body shifted colors like a chameleon, but also reshaped its limbs like liquid. Some even reported it walking upright for short moments, as if studying the camera. When a field team went to investigate, they found strange tracks, like no footprints ever seen. And then, they saw it. A small creature, no bigger than a rabbit. Yet it felt wrong. It didn't flee. It simply stared, as if it already knew everything about the people watching it. They captured it, brought it back to the lab, and that's when the real nightmare began. Inside the lab, the creature underwent full biological analysis, and that's when things turned bizarre. Its cells didn't behave like any known animal. Some replicated faster than cancer, while others stayed frozen, unaffected by time. Its blood carried no red or white cells, yet somehow delivered oxygen more efficiently than anything scientists had ever seen. Even its organs were a mystery, multiple hearts that didn't beat in rhythm, a brain that changed shape during sleep. Most shocking of all, its DNA. It shared only 10% similarity with anything in the global genome database. Not with mammals, not with insects, not with bacteria, nothing. Geneticists ran the test 3 times, convinced it was a mistake. One researcher called it a living error, as if evolution had tried something random, and it worked. Others weren't so sure. Some began whispering, what if this wasn't a product of evolution at all? What if it was designed? That's when the fear began to set in. Not because of what the animal could do, but because no one could explain why it exists at all. Scientists began testing the creature's limits. What they discovered left them speechless. It survived being submerged in acid for over an hour without a single burn. It was exposed to freezing temperatures of minus 196 degrees Celsius, colder than liquid nitrogen. Most life forms would shatter like glass. But this animal, it simply stopped moving, then thawed and walked away, completely unharmed. They raised the heat. They starved it. They placed it in a vacuum chamber. Nothing worked. Nothing fazed it. When exposed to radiation strong enough to kill a human in minutes, its cells actually repaired themselves faster. One scientist wrote in his notes, "It doesn't adapt. It just doesn't care." Even its metabolism defied logic. It could go days without food or water, then suddenly digest metals, plastics, even toxic waste. Its skin secreted unknown compounds that corroded lab instruments. Its nervous system pulsed with electrical signals even after being detached from its body. Whatever this thing is, it doesn't follow the rules of biology, or physics, or chemistry. It's like nature threw out the instruction manual and built something new. And no one knows why. After securing it in a high-containment lab, scientists assumed observation would bring clarity. But what followed only deepened the mystery. At first, the creature was calm, almost lifeless. It didn't eat. It didn't move much. Then, strange things began happening. Surveillance footage would show the creature in one corner of the enclosure. But the next frame, it was gone, only to reappear seconds later, with no signs of movement. Researchers double-checked the camera feeds. No glitches, no tampering, just missing time. On some nights, the lab's internal temperature would plummet without reason. Other times, researchers heard a soft humming noise, untraceable and unrecordable, described as inside your skull. One scientist claimed the creature mimicked his voice, whispering his name when no one else was in the room. Another started dreaming about the creature before ever seeing it in person. Reports mounted. Feelings of dread, distorted time perception, equipment failures. Some staff refused to enter the room at all. It was as if the creature wasn't just reacting to its environment. It was reacting to them. One researcher left a chilling note in her logs. "We're not studying it. It's studying us. And it doesn't want to be understood." As the creature's bizarre behavior escalated, so did the fear behind closed doors. Dozens of labs began submitting papers about it. Groundbreaking claims, shocking data, undeniable footage. But none of those studies ever saw the light of day. One by one, the research was quietly pulled from scientific journals. Entire projects were shut down without explanation. Emails between researchers revealed something chilling. Reviewers weren't rejecting the papers. They were warned not to publish them. Terms like data suppression, classified biology, and external pressure appeared in leaked communications. A team of geneticists who had been working on the creature for over a year suddenly vanished from public records. Their names were removed from university directories. Their social media wiped clean. One biologist, speaking anonymously, claimed she had been offered a large sum of money to stop her work. Another reported being followed after presenting preliminary findings at a private conference. The message was clear. Stop asking questions. Forget this thing exists. And yet, the whispers only grew louder. Because when science is silenced, people start asking, what's so dangerous about this creature that the world isn't allowed to know? It didn't take long for researchers to realize they weren't the only ones watching the creature. Around the same time labs were being shut down, unmarked black vans were spotted near the research facilities. Surveillance data was mysteriously erased. Hard drives disappeared overnight. And one lab technician reported seeing a man in a suit remove a vial of the creature's blood without signing in. Multiple sources began pointing toward government involvement, but no agency claimed responsibility, not the CDC, not the military, not even DARPA, despite heavy rumors that they were testing the creature's regenerative abilities for battlefield use. One document, leaked to a fringe science blog, listed the creature as bioanomalous entity number 0X-93. Another described a top-secret program called Project Eclipse, dedicated to studying life forms of non-human origin. And perhaps the most disturbing leak of all, a heavily redacted transcript of a meeting between government officials discussing the creature's potential to influence human cognition. One line stood out: "It doesn't just survive. It listens, it learns, and it remembers." If true, then the creature isn't just an anomaly. It's something that was never meant to be found, and those in power are determined to keep it that way. As modern science scrambled to understand the creature, a few researchers turned their attention elsewhere, into the past. What they found was unsettling. In isolated indigenous cultures thousands of miles apart, ancient myths spoke of a being eerily similar to what scientists had captured. In the Amazon, elders spoke of a shadow listener, a creature that hears thoughts and cannot be hunted. In Siberia, petroglyphs over 10,000 years old showed a small, limbless figure with shifting shapes and glowing eyes. And in parts of West Africa, shamans passed down legends of a flesh ghost that could not die, only disappear. The descriptions matched across continents. It doesn't age. It cannot be killed. It appears when someone tries to understand the world too deeply. Some saw it as a guardian, a protector of natural laws. Others believed it was a punishment, sent to those who dared to uncover forbidden knowledge. One tribal leader warned a visiting anthropologist, "If you trap it, you curse yourself. It is not a creature. It is a mirror." The implications were chilling. What if this thing wasn't discovered by science? What if it had always been here, watching, hiding, and occasionally reminding humanity of its limits? Despite the warnings, despite the disappearing data, one private lab pushed forward, unofficial, off the books, hidden deep underground. Their goal? To force the creature to reveal its origin. They exposed it to extreme stimuli, lights, sounds, frequencies far beyond the human range. They injected it with truth serum analogs, scanned every inch of its nervous system, even attempted neural mapping. And then everything went wrong. The only remaining evidence is a corrupted video file leaked by a whistleblower. What it shows is terrifying. Alarms blaring, lights flickering violently, scientists screaming in confusion. One can be heard shouting, "It's not in the cage! How is it not in the cage?" The camera cuts to static. When it comes back, the lab is empty, computers smashed, notes burned. No trace of the researchers was ever found. An internal memo was later discovered, classified, and buried under layers of encryption. It read, "Subject demonstrated non-local behavior, possible manipulation of space or perception. Project terminated." The creature was gone. No one saw it leave. No one ever found it again. But months later, scientists at unrelated labs began reporting strange glitches in their systems. Audio distortions, footage where the creature's shape appeared, for just one frame. Was it a coincidence, or had the creature never really left? The creature is no longer in any database. No institution admits to studying it. Every trace, every sample, every report vanished. Officially, it never existed. But the people who encountered it are changed. Some walked away from science entirely. Others disappeared, and a few still whisper that the creature is out there, watching from places we don't understand. It doesn't attack. It doesn't flee. It waits for someone curious enough, foolish enough, to look for it again. What terrifies scientists isn't just what this creature is. It's what it represents, a reminder that nature may not be finished creating, that some things were never meant to be found, and that the universe still hides secrets, even from those who devote their lives to uncovering them. So next time you read about a strange discovery that suddenly disappeared, or a research team that went silent overnight, ask yourself, was it a mistake of science? Or did they find the animal that haunts only scientists? Please like, subscribe, and press the bell icon for more videos.